All right, y'all, here's the Innovators West kit. So we're going to 8 rib on the 3rd gen. So super nice stuff. So right here we got the 3.3 inch blower pulley. Pulley, I don't know how well you can see this, 970, I believe, for the 8 rib alternator. We got 3 different idlers here. I believe this one's actually for the tensioner, which I'm already 8 rib on, so I may not actually have to use this, but it was just as cheap to get the whole kit. That's number 973. Then we got 2 that are slightly different size. I'll have to figure out which one is which. I'll look in the instructions. So we got a number, looks like a 1010 and a 972. And both of these are the smooth side idlers. I believe one's for the Magnuson unit. You can see the slight height difference there. One's for the Magnuson unit, and one is for the factory 2005 GTO accessory drive, which I'm running on this engine. I believe all these sides face out. We got the power steering pulley, which there is some mid-year changes there. Hopefully this is the right one. We got to pull that other pulley off and find out. It comes with our damper bolt. And then the super nice damper here. It is SFI approved. This is a 10% overdrive. So we're going to turn it up a little bit. This one does have the keyway in it, which my crank does, and it's pinned. So hopefully we should have some good insurance on there. That's the whole kit. All right, as you can see, I got the power steering pulley kit. It's the pulley puller kit, I guess I should say. So here's our power steering pulley, our alternator. We have an idler there. We're replacing the damper there. And then we got another idler here, which is on the Magnuson side of it. It's actually mounted to the base of the supercharger. And this is the upgraded Magnuson tensioner that I'd already gotten in a bracket I built. So that's actually already 8 rib. It's pretty heavy, so I may just leave that as is for now. So we're going to be putting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 pulleys on, and that should complete the 8 rib conversion until I get an actual 8 rib belt. We'll have to measure in the end. Since we're changing around so many pulleys, I'm pretty sure the sizes are going to change. All right, as y'all can see, I kind of jumped ahead a little bit, but literally it's just 4 bolts right here. This is on the Magnuson supercharger. The 1010 pulley just bolts on right here. This is actually, see how well y'all can see that, between the alternator and the crank, the damper. And anyway, this one, I believe it was the 976. I don't know, the part number is on the back side. But yeah, definitely a tight fit, but rotates smooth. Yeah, it's probably only like maybe 30 thousandths of clearance between there, but definitely seems to work well. So far, no issues. But anyway, I wanted to show you how you get this power steering pulley off. Anyway, so you got the threaded adapter, which is right here, and then you got the rod that screws over that, so that way it'll work for multiple applications. But anyway, but you take this nut here, so we'll run that down. See, I'm doing everything one-handed. I need to get a stand if I'm on film like this, but and then take these 2 little collared pieces here. So we'll just set one on top. Let me see, make sure I got this right. Yeah. Actually, I had it on backwards. So set one on top, and then the other one on the bottom. I might have to actually set the camera down just for a second. There we go. And so now we got our sleeve on it, so that way the 2 pieces can't come off. And then so as we back this nut off, we can hold here with a wrench and back this off. And in turn, see, it should tighten up. Yeah, there we go. So now we're tight. So now as we back this off, it's got a hold of it right here, and it'll actually pull the pulley off of the end of the pump. And per the Innovators West, they say to take a measurement here between the pulley and the pump, just to make sure that you go back the same distance, because their pulley is actually designed to be shimmed just in case, and that's why they use this bolt-on design for two reasons. One, you don't have to pull it off if you have to unmount the pump, so you could just unbolt these bolts right here. But yeah, so they leave a little bit there. That way, if you have a belt alignment issue, something like you got an aftermarket pump that something's been done to it, then you can shim this in or out to create a good belt alignment. Put just a small amount of lubricant on it, just that way it slides up easy. You don't want to be too forceful with it. It feels to be the right size. So then we'll get our little pusher set up here. It's actually got a little bearing up inside of here, so pretty much the same deal going back together, just going the opposite way. Ooh, thing don't really give us much threads. May have to push on it with just a washer at first. So let's put a washer on it. You know what? We're gonna lose that too. Because I hate destroying tools. Tools are expensive. You gotta buy them all the time from damaging them. I don't know about y'all, once they broke. Alternator pulley is off. That thing was on there pretty tight. And just a little word of advice, you're gonna need a impact on here. Works out much better. You can break it loose by holding the pulley with a pipe wrench or something like that, but in the end, you're gonna need something that's gonna pull it off really quick, or a means of holding the shaft. Put a little Loctite on there for a little extra insurance. This is a tight squeeze coming in here.
tight enough. I'll double check it. This is just a weak 3/8 I'm using here.
All right, I'm going to try to show this as best I can. Getting this on the damper. This is one of the pullers that I borrowed from a buddy of mine. As you can see, it's like a little rod going up into the crank. And then you got to take each one of the, I guess, claws, you could say, like a 3-jaw. And each one grabs on. I really didn't show me setting it up, but it's kind of a pain in the ass to set these kind up, especially down in a hole like this. But anyway, so that took a minute, but anyway, I figured I'd show y'all how that went on there. There's probably other videos on YouTube that you can check out that probably got a lot better angle than what I have here. But this particular puller, so we had our 3-jaw right here, and this is the actual push bolt. And then it come with these 3 different length push rods that you can use. And right now I got the second to the longest one on there. I may end up having to go, but this one was acting like it was too short. So, but yeah, I figured I'd show you all that.
So here it is, slowly coming off. It would definitely be a lot easier with the radiator out, but I figured if I could save a little work and a little bit of mess, I would do that. So hopefully the new one goes on as easy as the old one's coming off, which usually they do. Now this particular one I got pinned on here. There is a keyway, I believe, cut in my crankshaft, so I may end up having to figure out what size it is, and hopefully it's 3/16 to match the new balancer. So, and that'll be great. So I won't have to drill any holes or any of that stuff. Just knock a key into the crank and put the new balancer on and be done. And there it is. That's one way to get it out.
So right now it's gonna look like I jumped way ahead, and there's a reason for this, and I'm gonna show y'all. I did take the water pump off. I mean, it ain't but 6 bolts, and I did pull the radiator too, so y'all can kind of see how I got the coils mounted and everything. And there's the bottom fed intercooler. So a little dusty back up in there, but so anyway, the reason why I ended up doing this is this crank had a keyway in it, and I drilled the factory crank or the factory balancer so that way we could pin it. And anyway, it turns out I drilled right down the keyway. I had no idea because the engine was already assembled. So I actually put just a little bit of JB Weld in there, just something to kind of take up the space. I've actually talked to Innovators West a little bit about it, and I've ordered a pin kit from them, and I'm going to try to center it up off this other side where I've drilled there. So I'm going to try to center it up from there, and theirs is a three keyway design. So I should end up with one to either side of the one I JB welded, and I don't really think the JB weld is doing anything or isn't doing anything. Just something there to take up the space. But yeah, you can see where I drilled down, and you can see just to the right side where the keyway was. But yeah, I guess it was like about a 1 in 10 chance I was gonna hit it, and I really didn't think much of it, and I actually hit it. But anyway, so that's what I'm encountering here, because I actually got this one with the keyway. Here's the new Innovators West that has the keyway, And then you can see where I had drilled the factory style balancer. So ran into a little issue there and got to order some parts, but got the 3-keyway, the 3-pin kit coming. So we'll center it off the one side, and then we should have one here and one here, but it's going to be on this balancer here. Here's the kit I'm using to install the balancer. This is an older kit that I've had, and I actually had to, I had done this in the past where we got this is the size of the LS crank, the M16 by 1.5. And what I ended up actually having to do is I just made my own little adapter because the LS crankshaft, the hole was too deep for it. So I made this, and but anyway, we'll basically this side right here this is actually an old bolt, so that just gets threaded up into here, and then we'll put our adapter down on there. All right, well, that pretty much concludes the install of it. We got a 3-pin kit coming to pin this crank, which that's pretty much the same as any of them. I'm pretty sure there's a ton of YouTube videos out there about how to pin a crank, but I set this up here. It's a 98-inch 8-rib pulley. 98-inch 8-rib belt, and that's with a 10% overdrive. The 3.3-inch blower pulley, and the Magnuson upgraded tensioner. So for any of you guys running GTO accessories, or any of you guys with a GTO, this should probably get you ballpark at least. Always measure and get the right size, but I don't think I could get a tighter belt on there if I wanted to. So that actually works out really good. There's not much left in this thing. But anyway, as far as the pin kit, when that gets here, I'm going with a 3-pin style. And you see how this works. We got our bolt, we got our centering tool here, our drill bit, and then a pin. And anyway, depending on, and like I said, the one that I got coming is 3 pins. So anyway, but you just figure on the thickness of your lineup shaft or your lineup tool, and then you'll put this on there, and then you tape off your drill bit for the depth you need drilled, and that's pretty much it really. And then aside from that, all I got is putting in this radiator. So which that's super easy. Plug in a couple fans, 2 radiator hoses, upper, lower, and then our little air escape line there between the cylinder heads that runs up to there. So it's super easy stuff. But hopefully this helps most of y'all that have ever done one of these. The pulley right here is super tight, which I've actually confirmed with Innovators West and a couple other vendors. They say that's pretty normal for the belt to be that close together, which is good because you get really good wrap on there. And that's the issue we're combating here. When I did the drag strip run, we were sitting there, making 9 pounds of boost, and then it falls off to 4 as your RPM climbs. So it's kind of disappointing, really, where you twist an engine up like that, and you should be making more power, and the power is actually falling off. So, but let me know what you think. Like, comment, subscribe if you want, or don't like it. Tell me how bad it is. I don't care. I got thick skin. I like to joke around, but just let me know what you think. All right, hope y'all enjoyed it.